Hi everybody, this is our third video on conditional sentences, and today we are focusing on alternatives to if, or the words that I can use instead of if. Let's go. We already mentioned the usage of when instead of if to add frequency to an event. If I say, when I go to my favorite restaurant, I order pizza, it means that I usually go to that restaurant and I usually order pizza. Whereas if I go to a restaurant, I order pizza, means that I don't go to restaurants very often. So it's something weird. When adds this idea of frequency, it's something that happens quite a lot of times. But there are more. Unless is very, very common. And the idea of unless is making the action negative. If you don't study, can be replaced for unless you study. Why? Because in English, they love making sentences as short as possible. So whenever you think, if you don't, if I don't, if she doesn't, change that for unless. You won't be able to play the guitar well unless you practice more time, meaning if you don't practice more time. And here you have some activities to practice. So stop the video, complete the sentences, and then in the next slide, you can stop it again and check. In case. In case is our por si acaso. Take the umbrella in case it rains, or just in case it rains. And, well, means that if that thing happens. So, well, it's quite common, not as common as unless, not as common as when, but it's good to know, right? In case. I'll make a sandwich in case I get hungry later. Here you can practice a little bit. Stop the video, continue, and then in the next slide, check. As long as, provided and provided, which are next, are used for the same purpose. Siempre y cuando. Only if, right? Only if you do that. Imagine that you want to use my book, and I tell you, okay, you can use it as long as, or providing you take care of it. So if and only if you're gonna be careful, you can use my book. You will be healthy as long as you follow my advice, which means that if you don't follow my advice, unless you do this, right? Only if you follow my advice, you will be healthy. And as I told you, we have these two others, provided and providing, with that or without that. And it means only if, on condition that your plants will be healthy or alive, provided you water them regularly. If you don't water them, they will die. And that's a fact. So careful. Here you have some activities to choose between unless and providing, provided, or as long as. So remember, unless means if you don't, if not, and provided, providing, and as long as would mean only if. Stop the video, choose the right one, and then check. Otherwise. Wow, careful with otherwise, because this is one of the most common mistakes among Spaniards. We love saying, if not, si no, oh. No, careful, in English it doesn't exist. If not, does not exist. So we'd say otherwise. Be punctual. Otherwise, you won't be able to go to the classroom. Fine? You need to finish your homework. Otherwise, you will not make a passing grade. Jamie should clean his room, otherwise she will not be allowed to have her friends come over. So otherwise is a very strong word that we have to learn because it's very common and it sounds very British. And if not, it sounds terrible. So careful with it. Here you have some sentences to complete. So I give you a situation, and then I started the sentence for you. So just complete the other parts, the otherwise half. Of course, there are different options, but the idea is the same. Fine? And the last one is whether. Whether is used in reported speech for indirect questions and is an alternative when you hesitate, when you have doubts. We can use it with or not. Whether you like it or not, you will come with me. Whether you like it or not, you will learn conditionals. He wondered whether the detective had discovered who the thief was. So whether is always allowing us to choose. There's always an option. In this activity, I want you to choose between if, whether, or whether or not. So I'm helping you with the first one. My sister can't decide to buy a bicycle to go to work. So there is a choice. She can buy it or she cannot buy it. So the right answer could be, my sister can't decide whether or not to buy a bicycle to go to work. Stop the video again and then check. Right. And here we have a very brief summary with another type of structures that we didn't mention in this video because they are not as common probably, and because I had to choose some of them, right? Even if just emphasizes the if, unless we work on it. Supposing, or imagine. This is an hypothetical situation, like in Spanish. In case, but for, we didn't see it, whether or not. And these are more complex for B2, C1, and plus. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.